Welcome to a quick episode of Grub Masters, where we're going to go over a tip, tool, and technique, today being a water heater. So our water heater is pretty basic. It's made out of some copper coil tubing, about 20 feet. This is 1/2 inch inside diameter. We've got a 40 quart stock pot. This one's a little thicker. It's 1/4 inch aluminum, so we were able to tap some holes in it. So inside our stock pot is a perfect place to store our stand. This is made out of oak. Got a nice hook with a loop here to be able to stand it. Then be able to place our 40 quart stock pot right on top. Notice we have a spigot to make it easier to drain off water if you need a cup or put some in a bowl. And then what we'll do is we're going to take our coil, and we have these flared fittings where the copper is flared, and we're simply going to connect it right to our fittings on our stock pot. These were tapped in using a 1/2 inch thread, pipe thread, through the 1/4 inch aluminum stock pot. Nice little tightening of that fitting with the flared fitting right up against the brass fitting that's threaded through our pot. And we'll add some water now. Notice that we don't have a fire going yet over our coil, which will be our source of heat, because we want to make sure that this stock pot is filled above this upper piece of copper coil connector, so that that copper coil is filled with water so we don't damage our copper coil. If we put it directly in the heat without water, we risk damaging and bursting our copper coil. So we have a 40 quart stock pot here. We're going to start off with 5 gallons. 40 quarts is 10 gallons. That would be right up to the top. So that's just about 8 gallons of water added, and it's come above our top piece of copper here. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to get a fire going right in the middle of that copper coil. So we've got a fire roaring here. We're about 10-15 minutes in, not even, but probably about 10 minutes, right, John? Because we had all our kindling. I don't know if you could hear it, but this thing's already starting to rumble.
It sounds a lot like a percolator, like going on steroids, yeah.
It does, and it's amazing. What's going to happen is the colder water is going to keep settling in this pot, and the hot water, or almost steam, is going to keep coming up the top pipe, and it's going to naturally circulate. Doesn't sound like it's like it really makes sense, like you would need a pump or something, but you'd be amazed on how this will get moving on its own just because of the heat.
Right, so it's about 10 of 1 now. We think it's probably going to take about an hour to get this like cocoa-worthy water.
Absolutely.
All right, so we'll check in with you then. All right, it's been about an hour and 10 minutes, and this is just bubbling away. We know the water's circulating through, and we started this from just a scratch fire too, no coals or anything. Let's get a temperature on this guy. Ouch! This is why the spigot is so important.
We're up to 183.
183, and that's climbing because just before we shot the sequence, we tested it. It was 176, so it's approaching a boil at this point. Carl, but why have an outdoor water heater, right?
Why can't we just put a pot on the fire, right? Pot on your stove. Well, you're generating the heat already. Right. Most of the times when we're camping, we're going to have a campfire. Why not harness that energy and always have a ready supply of water ready to go? We could have our camp stove set over here with a pot on it, boiling water, but inevitably when we need water, we're not going to have it. And we're burning through gas if we have it going all day. Or if we're taking up real estate, if we had a fire going with a pot on there, it also gets a little dangerous with that pot sitting there on a tripod or on a rack.
Especially when we're putting new wood in and stuff. So, all right, so basically Grub Masters went green today.
Yes.
All right, excellent. Yeah. All right, I think moment of truth. Let's see what we've got out of the spigot.
You can see the steam. And today's a day where we're at about 45 degrees outside. But as I said, the temperature that we just had here, what did we say it was 182?
Yeah, 180, in the mid 180s.
180s. If you were putting this in your wash tub to wash dishes, you'd have to temper it.
Right. Yep.
It's that hot.
So basically an unlimited supply of water. Just keep it above this top fitting. It's just going to circulate unlimited hot water. Beautiful thing. All right. If you like what you see here, please shoot us a comment, like, subscribe, and share. We'll see you next time.